Hey, my name is Greg Dixon here with Storyvan TV, and here we're talking to Steve Brossman, the sales innovator. So how are you doing, Steve?
Mate, I'm absolutely doing fantastic, Greg, and I'm looking forward to this. I know it's going to be fun and lively.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. So you're coming here from Australia. Where are you at the moment?
I am sitting downtown beautiful Balmoral Beach, which is, as the crow flies, around about 6 or 7 mile, 10 kilometres from the heart of Sydney, and we're right on the water of the harbour.
That's fabulous. So you're a speaker, an author, and a coach, a business coach. And I understand the coaching part of it came to you in a different way. You didn't start off to be a business coach. How did you get here?
Well, I'll actually pull you up on that a little bit, because a business coach is the last thing that I ever want to be called, and lucky we're in different countries. But I will forgive you on that. I never set out to officially be in business. Look, even though I did start a surfboard making business in my dad's garage in the middle of the Hunter Valley, like about 100 kilometers from any water, because mates at school wanted them. I learned how to do it. I thought, yeah, we could do that. But I got sick of it. So I trained a couple of the mates. They were making the boards, they were doing the glassing, and basically I was just selling it and running the business. So I had a taste of being an entrepreneur, guess when I was at school. But the big breakthrough was I tell people it was by accident, and it actually was officially an accident. I was quite a good runner. I was training for the Olympics, and through training and everything, wearing things down, I'd actually crushed 3 discs in my back. And that was it, game over. You can't run very fast with a bad back. So through rehab, I actually fell in love with the fitness industry. And I looked at what was going on, and this was in the early 80s. And I thought, you know what, I could do it differently. I think I could do it better. I was a pretty brash young guy at the time. And so I did. I opened up a health club in 1983 and set out to conquer the world. And I had a lot of fun. So as you were alluding to, I actually got into business by accident.
And your health club, you actually were coaching in I know what it is. You ended up winning an award for a fitness coach. You were the first non-American to win this award. What was that?
Yeah. Because I was doing things differently, I actually set up a kids club program in my health club, because I set up the club Fitness for All. And that became successful, and I showed other people how to do it, and then thought, well, I could do this as a business. So I set up a franchise or a license, and within a few years, I'd actually licensed it into 5 countries. Then I set up a weight loss program, because people wanted actually weight loss, and they were paying more for weight loss than they were for fitness. So I set up a weight loss program in the club. Other gyms didn't know how to do that. They weren't doing it. They were just selling hard work and sweat. And I thought, okay. So I taught them to do it, and I licensed that into 2 countries. Then I was invited to speak around the place, and then I was invited to speak around the world. And because I became a leader in some smaller niches, instead of just competing on the big stage with everybody else, trying to be the same as everybody else, I was different, and became a fairly high-ranked global leader in kids and seniors and aqua and a whole range of those things. And fortunately enough, the International Fitness Association, I was awarded the International Fitness Instructor of the Year, and was the first non-American ever to win that. So I was pretty chuffed about that.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. So it seems to me, when you tell that story, that you leveraged your coaching ability, but you got into doing blueprints and systems pretty early. Would that be a fair thing to say?
Yes and no. I evolved into blueprints, but I was selling the system, not myself. And a great example of this was I left the fitness industry, and there was a series of events where cigarette smokers were not allowed to smoke in buildings anymore. So they went out into the streets, which caused a massive amount of cigarette butt litter out there. And I'm a passionate non-smoker and environmentalist. And I saw cigarette butts everywhere. And I said to my mate, I said, we've got to do something about this. And I thought everybody should carry a personal ashtray. So I said, hey, I've invented the first ever personal ashtray. And he said, nah, there's lots of them around. And there was actually in Australia 12 different personal ashtrays on the market. So I did something a little different, and I got a crazy sense of humor. I invented a portable personal ashtray. I don't know whether you can see it or not. It's called the Butts Out. It's got a human bum on it.
Oh, that's great. That's fabulous.
And we approached it differently to most others, and we actually set up programs. So instead of selling the pieces, sell the programs and the payoff. So we set up cigarette butt litter reduction campaigns, which is what people want, which included our personal ashtrays. And very shortly, because we were the only ones and the first one to set up campaigns, we become global leaders. We won international awards for what we were doing, but we sold a bucket load of personal ashtrays. In fact, 4 million into 26 countries by selling the systems, by selling the process and the payoff instead of just the personal ashtrays. And everything that I've done with the kids club, we didn't sell an aerobic workout for kids. We sold a system for gyms to make money. We didn't sell a diet and exercise for the weight loss program. We sold a system for clubs to make money. So all the way through, and with all of my clients now, it's like, what is it that people really do want to buy from you? They want to buy a program. They want to buy the payoffs, not what you do. And I had quite a successful career in television. I hosted and produced my own TV show on Network 9 here in Australia, was executive producer with Warner Brothers. And for a while there, I was the video guy. We were the first ones to run video marketing here in Australia. But I wanted to get out of that. I wanted to get into more towards what I'm doing now, helping people position their authority and build their business. But I struggled to explain who I was, what I did over and over and over and over again until my speaker coach that I traveled to America to do some training with, he wheeled out this big schematic. He said, we have a scientific approach for selling from stage. And I just looked at it, my world changed. I thought, that's a blueprint. I've got to have one. And I don't think I heard another word about speaking and selling from stage for the rest of the 3 days. I just build the blueprint. And from then, my business, my life, the communication changed when I had a blueprint to be able to share with people. Here is a system for your results. And then it took the stress off selling me. It's no longer did I have to say, hey, I'm good, buy me. He's like, hey, I got a great system here. And we collaborated, and it made it so much easier. So again, it was almost by default or accident that I fell into the blueprint. But for the last 7 or 8 years, I've really been known as the blueprint guy and helping people take the stress out of selling.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Because that was one of my impressions when I saw some of your material, is that you really had clear maps or blueprints of things. So the other thing is that let's take a look at your website here. You've got a few interesting things on it. So there's the shy introvert that you are there. So stand up, stand out, and stand aside. That sounds kind of like an Australian attitude there, I would say.
Well, I was, and this would be funny for your people, I was going to call it be different or bugger off. And that's really Australian. But my wife, who was an Amazon guru, she said, you probably better not do that. So it really is stand up, stand out, or stand aside. If you are not standing out, being seen as the leader and the authority in your marketplace, you might as well get lost, because you probably are. And I think we had a chat off camera earlier. I talk about the brown box syndrome, which is if you title yourself, which is why I don't want to be called a business coach, if you title yourself the same as everybody else, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a planner, you're a broker, you're a whatever, then you're a brown box.
Yeah.
You look and sound the same as everybody else, but you could be gold inside. But if you're sitting on the shelf with every other brown box, and if I was calling myself a business coach, then I'm the same as every other business coach. And they think, yeah, I know a business coach. You're one of them. And that's the last thing you ever want to be. Oh, you're an accountant. You're one of them. You're a financial planner. You're a mortgage broker. Oh, you're one of them. And some great people I've worked with and working with a lot of people in the industry now, insurance brokers. Oh, hell, I don't even want to say you're one of them. I'm just running the other way. So that's the stand up, stand out, or stand aside philosophy that's pretty well carried on through the rest of my books.
Yeah. So you have three. You said you had 3 Amazon #1 bestsellers, and
I think I've got 4 of my own and 5 collaboration books.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. And this is your newest one, right?
That's the next one. That's the Authority Client Attraction System. And that basically takes the first book another step. It helps people that are a leader and an authority on how to actually stand out and attract and then convert people. And the next couple after that, I started getting lazy.
Okay. So I don't see that on the front.
No. I've in fact, that website is not far off being pulled down and the new one being ready. I write what's called back pocket guides.
Yes.
And because so many people are now just really time poor, I've condensed the value. In fact, they're almost a workshop in a book. So they've got videos in there, they've got schematics and blueprints and all sorts of different things. And it's around about a 40-minute read, which is about what people can take in one sitting. So I put together, the back pocket guide to self-selling secrets. And that's how to have people. Yeah. Oh, cool.
I don't have an image of it here, but I put this link. This is your link in the chat here for people who can click on it and download the book.
Yeah. It really is a fairly complete and comprehensive guide to create your authority positioning, look at what your programs are, deliver the payoff, not the pieces, what the blueprint is all about, how to even sell with a blueprint. But the kicker, which is the newest thing that I've been working with some great people over in the States on some really high-level cognitive neuroscience. That doesn't mean it's complicated. I've just broken it down nice and easy. How to increase the buying energy before people actually get to talk to you. And that's a whole new way of looking at things and being able to put it into systems so people get excited to talk to you and can't wait, instead of being, the person that's knocking on their door trying to sell to them. It's a fun way to only have great fun conversations.
Yeah. Do you know Bonnie's favorite guy is Big Al Scheider? Do you know him?
I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he has some really funny stuff on YouTube, but he basically say people have made their decisions before you open your mouth. I think that's in line with what you're thinking is, you've won or lost the game before you even start making you're describing whatever it is. he comes from a network marketing point of view, right? And that's the whole thing. And he said the decisions, usually people spend a lot of time winding stuff up, but usually it's, the decision's made in the first 5 seconds. And if you can figure that out, you can save yourself a lot of time.
Absolutely. And because I actually still don't love sales, and I really would only like to have conversations with people who know who I am, who know what I do, know who I work with, and have already formed an opinion that I could probably add value to their life or their business in some way. Yeah. And that's a great way to start a conversation instead of, hey, let's do the rapport building and get to know each other. And, hey, by the way, here's what I do. They could get halfway through it and think you're an idiot. I'd rather they think I'm an idiot before I get to talk to them. So they can have a look at my books and they can watch my videos and they say, that guy's an idiot. I'm going to walk away right now. That's great. I don't have to talk to them.
Yeah. I have a friend that I've known from elementary school, and he'll post something. He'll say, let the unfriending begin. Like we'll clear the list here. I'm going to say something that some people are going to like, and that's okay. You can go have your conversation somewhere else. So.
And that works. That works really well. And I've got a saying that people will gravitate towards you when they know what you stand for.
Yeah.
But they will run towards you when they know what you stand against.
Yes.
So, and Dan Kennedy, the great marketer himself, he said two things that I'll share with you. That the best way to aggregate people is to alienate them.
Yes.
So if you can point the finger at the people over there and say, "Hey, I'm against that," and then they run towards you, is like, let's get together against a common enemy. And in his words, and I'll quote them, it may be a little bit crass. He said, "Look, if you're not pissing somebody off by 11 a.m. in the morning, you're not marketing hard enough."
Yeah. He definitely likes that polarization thing. It's either people love you or hate you. If you're in the middle and people are lukewarm, that's when you're in trouble, right? So.
Yeah. That's absolutely for sure. Yeah.
So you have a podcast too.
Look, I put it on hold until 4 a.m. this morning. I got my butt kicked and I'm going to resurrect it again.
Oh, okay.
It is called The Entrepreneur's Locker Room.
Yeah.
And it's giving tips and interviewing people that have done things fairly significant, or ordinary people that have done things that are going to help other people as well. And I've got some great interviews already there.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it back out again, because there's some phenomenal people that I'm going to interview.
Okay.
And just give some real life stories, some down to earth people, and most importantly, some takeaway tips that people will be able to use to enhance their life and their business, their relationships, and do that. And as you can see on the background here, the Entrepreneur's Locker Room, that's what it is all about.
Okay. So what's your timeline? What's your timeline for bringing that back?
You would pressure me, wouldn't you?
It's only live. It's not like they're going to open the gates to East Germany, if you say the wrong thing here.
No, the goal is definitely to have it back up and running in the next 4 weeks. So if you're watching the replay at Christmas times, it's 4 weeks from now.
Well, what we'll do is maybe when you're ready to launch it, we'll have you back on and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, it's I actually just had a discussion with my personal assistant, called my son.
Yes.
And said, "Hey, listen, I'm bringing it back again, and here's some more employment that you can do." So he'll be in charge of doing the uploads, etc. He does all my video editing work and my video uploading and do that. And yeah, he's a 17-year-old who's got his own business as well. Yes. But the thing was, like, I'd spent 8 years in video editing. It took him 2 weeks to get better.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's what he wanted. He said, "Yeah, I could do that a better way." And I was like, "Yeah, go for it."
Yes. All your decades of wisdom were not needed.
He'd come down and obviously the people would know that there's a green screen behind me, and behind that is bookshelves, whiteboards, cameras, all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
And he came down and he said, "Dad, you really need to level up. We've got to do a few things with what you're doing." So we've enhanced the situation behind. Yeah. We've put a green screen behind the whiteboard, and he'll shop me into really nice office settings where I'm doing the presentation, and he'll put the thing behind. And it's like, oh my goodness, that's just awesome. So it's great to have him on board.
Yeah, your lighting looks very good. It looks really good.
Yeah, 20 years in television, I really should get something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have any other parting wisdom before we let you go?
Well, the thing that I've got and had a couple of good conversations with you, and you work with people to be able to let them have a lifestyle so they can actually travel and run their business. And that's pretty well what I do, even though I don't travel, because we would always go on holidays and we'd look at each other and say, what are we doing here? We live in paradise. So we very rarely travel unless they're adventure holidays. And people say, how's COVID affected you? So, well, it hasn't. My business is basically me, the internet, and anything that I need to do, because I've set it up so that I could do it anywhere at any time, and with anybody that I choose to. And the key thing that your people can take away, and the couple of things that I have already mentioned, being positioned as a unique authority is absolute gold. And the one thing that I hear over and over again is people don't believe that they are an authority. They may have only been in business for a short period of time. They may not have certain qualifications. If they could remember the difference between an expert and authority, the expert is the person who knows something. The expert is the person who is supposed to have the 10,000 hours of whatever it is to become an expert. So an expert knows something. An authority is known for something. So if you're already doing something, if you're already helping people, if people are sending people to you, that's what you're known for. It's a matter of then uncovering and how do you communicate that unique authority positioning that you do actually have. And then how do you package that in an outcome-based way? And then how do you communicate people through a sales process that is, and I like most of your people would love helping people. There's the imposed influence, which is basically, hey, me saying I'm good, buy me. We try and throw that out. The collaborative influence, which is the basis of why you should have a blueprint so you could work with it and collaborate. And then there's the self-influence. When you do it right, they're looking at it and say, wow, this is fantastic. How do we get started? So that's a fairly simple and easy process. And if they are keen to know more about that, just grab the free gift. It's virtually a 40 or 50-minute workshop in a book that you could get. You can have a look at it, implement it, and there is some stuff in there that I really do hope would make an impact on you, your business, your lifestyle, so you can make an impact on the people that you want to work with and also your loved ones.
That's perfect, Steve. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I think we'll just we'll stop the broadcast here. You don't have to disappear right away, but we'll just stop the broadcast.
See you, everybody.